Let's go right out to the scene.
The child, along with the two of them, in the 600 block of Dexter Avenue.
No one was injured?
No injuries. Thankfully, the child has been recovered safely. At this point, because of everything that's going on, we will be making a referral to Franklin County Children's Services to do evaluations to make sure the child is safe before we determine where that child will go with what specific family at this point. But thankfully, this came to a safe conclusion with the help of family, along with social media posts and the Amber Alert, all combined had the specific suspects, Sierra and Tayson, call directly to the detectives.
Have they been taken into custody then? You said charges have been filed on them this morning?
That's correct. So charges have been filed. They will be taken into custody for those said charges. At this point, they'll be transported to Columbus Police Headquarters. We will conduct interviews to determine what happened in the past and what they're willing to speak about.
How long until the dad is reunited with him?
So in situations like this that are so unique, depending on what is discovered through the investigation, through us and through Franklin County Children's Services, we don't want to put a specific timeline on it, but what we can say is as long as it takes to ensure that child's safety before we can safely release him back to his father.
So I saw the mom was charged with domestic violence. I didn't see any charges for the male friend. Is there any new additional charges that are coming, or?
That all depend on what happens once they're taken into custody and whether or not they choose to speak to us during the interview process. But again, we did charge him with aggravated menacing for this particular situation, and if there's any additional charges, they will be forthcoming and we'll let everyone know publicly.
Sergeant Fuqua, you mentioned earlier that here in Columbus we've had some very tragic outcomes to these very similar incidents. How relieved are you that this has a completely different outcome?
I'm extremely relieved. It's always helpful when we have support, whether it's from the family, whether it's the statewide Amber Alert issue, whether it's friends and family or someone who doesn't even know them and sees them in passing and calls 911. This is a perfect example of truly the community coming together to save or potentially save the life or protect a young person.
And now that location where they were found, is that someone's residence, a family's home? Do we know where it was?
So I'm not specific on that information yet, but as soon as we have that, we'll put that out publicly.
Oftentimes people are worried to come forward, give tips. We just saw one person come by and talk to you. You said that this is a perfect example, but why does this show that people for this other crimes should come forward and talk to you guys?
Well, I think anytime you have anything dealing with young people, especially young kids, that really touches a nerve with people because really kids are unprotected. They can't fend for themselves. They can't protect themselves. So I think many people are parents, right? So with the situations we've seen, like I said, over the last couple of weeks where unfortunately a mother did everything she could to protect her young 6-year-old to an 8-year-old tragically losing their life. When you see these things over and over publicly, you know, that's trauma for all of us. You don't have to be a friend. You don't have to be family to see these things and have a heavy heart for these young kids. So I think in this particular situation and all the situations we've had over the last couple of weeks, people are pretty much fed up and they want to make sure the next child that's in a dangerous situation is brought home safe.
Well, of the Columbus Division of Police being interviewed by 10 TV's Lacey Crisp right now. So a great outcome to a missing Amber Alert case that we had just moments ago. We do now know that 4-year-old Matthew Brown-Giamarco was found safe. This is just about an hour after an Amber Alert went out to all of our phones and through all of the media too. He was found missing with his mom, Sierra Brown. The charges are now pending right now, and also the mom's friend, Tayson Hixon, facing aggravated menacing charges as well right now. And what we do know so far from the update with Sergeant Fuqua was that Matthew Brown-Giamarco, the 4-year-old boy, was last seen between 3 and 5 a.m. that time frame with mother Sierra Brown and his birth father, and then went missing shortly after that, a time ago, just finding out that he was recovered safely too. We're still waiting to hear more about where this boy was recovered safely from and some of the charges that are pending against the mom and this friend of the mom right now. Of course, we will have continuing coverage of this breaking news on 10tv.com and on 10TV News at noon.